All right, guys, this will be the week one recap video. This video will be the most documentation-based video. It will just be a lot of like news as opposed to insider information. But in this video, I'm going to take a look at the matchups from week one, go over the waiver report, and then take a look at the upcoming matchups in week two. So to get into it here, the first thing we're going to look at is the high score and the low score from this week. So the GOAT this week was Maga Kitchens, Cal's team. 145 points, not the craziest week for a high scorer, but very overall solid week from Cal's team. And the WOAT this week is Tim's team. 59 points, pretty hard to do, scoring 59 points in fantasy. I think Tim's team is better than that, but this is definitely like a generationally bad fantasy week out of Tim's team. So getting into the overall matchup results here, we have the winners on the left, losers on the right. Taking a look at the first matchup between myself and Colt. This was a pretty good matchup. It came down to the wire. Sunday Night Football, neither of us had the guy Monday night, but Sunday night, James Cook pulled it out for my team, so that was pretty exciting. Two notes I had for this matchup that are just might have bigger impacts on the line here. George Kittle placed on the IR, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like his role changed a little bit with the Cardinals, got some easier looks. Taking a look at the next matchup, between Alex and Grayson. Alex won that one. Looks like it was won pretty easily. Josh Allen, monster performance for Alex. Other note I had on Grayson's team, RJ Harvey. Didn't look that great. He had a pretty big run, but outside of that, probably going to need to be addressed by Grayson. Taking a look at the next matchup, we have Cal beating Jack. Only thing I really have for Cal's team performed solid. Only thing I really have is Lamar Jackson. He's probably one of the worst players you want to see in your opponent's lineup going into a primetime game. And for Jack, we're already seeing Tyreek Hill being potentially traded here, looking at the Chiefs and the Steelers as the two teams. I think the best case scenario there would be Tyreek back to the Chiefs. Could be a league-winning type move if that happens for Jack. Taking a look at the next matchup between the brothers Sam and Jack. Sam took this one. Derrick Henry, King Henry, is back, still in his prime, even though he's like 31. And then for Jack's team, Kenneth Walker looks cooked, bro. Zach Charbonnet looks like he's going to be taking over this role pretty soon. And then something unexpected, AJ Brown, 1 point. Pretty surprised about that, but don't think that is a sign of things to come there. Taking a look at the last matchup here between Joe and Tim. Joe's got to be ecstatic, winning with 92 points. It was good to see Garrett Wilson actually pretty productive with Justin Fields, so that should be a good piece for Joe. And then for Tim's team, I don't really have anything individual to say. Just like I said earlier, generationally bad performance from his team. I think Tim's team is much better than this, though. This is just a look at the standings. There's not much to see here this early in this season, but as we roll along and near the playoffs, this could be a bit more interesting and set up some pretty interesting scenarios to look at. All right, I'm not going to include this in another video, but the algorithm for the ESPN Power Rankings is one of the worst tools I've seen in fantasy football. If you're just going to move the 5 losers down to the bottom 5 spots after week one, then what's the point of even having it? Like Tim's team, yes, they scored 59 points. His team is not a 10th place team. And then for preseason, having Maga Kitchen's team ranked 9th just makes no sense. Anyone with any clue about fantasy football could look at that roster and know it's probably a top 3 roster in the league. So just terrible tool to look at. All right, waiver results here. I don't really think any of these moves are even worth speaking on. This was one of the most underwhelming week one fantasy waiver wires in the past couple of years. So hopefully there's a few more interesting pieces as the season goes here, but this was pretty pitiful week one waiver wire. These are the upcoming matchups for week two. As the season rolls along and there's more interesting playoff scenarios to look at, I'll spend a little bit more time here. But I just wanted to give a quick glance into the league landscape for week two. If there's anything else you guys want to see or not see in the intel and weekly recap videos, please let me know. Those will be the scheduled videos for here through, I think, week 10. The only other videos will be the power ranking videos. Those will be where I do the deep dives, and then the trade videos as they happen. But that's all I got, and thank you guys.